Hello, hello! This year in FPL has gone a bit wibbly-wobbly for a few so far already, making a lot of people use their wildcard very premature. Keep it in your pants, boy. My team from the very start was built to do a Game Week 5 wildcard. Wow, it's like I predicted this video. So today, I'm going to be looking at a few wildcard drafts that would be very good going forward, as you kind of don't want to move backwards. But remember, everyone's team value is going all over the shop and not the same, so some teams might not be possible for you, or maybe you might be able to make a better one. Not to flex on y'all, but just keep that in mind and try them out and make any compromises if you have to. So first, let's look at my current team. I have Bruyne in goals, Trent, Digne, Lundstram / Holebas, Salah, Sterling, Maddison and Martial, Pukki, Barnes and Haller, with Button, Dendoncker, Holebas / Lundstram and Rico on the bench. Also with 0.7 milli in the banky. So personally, I feel like the only changes I need to make in the next few weeks would be to chuck Holebas in the bin and maybe swap Bruyne to a different keeper. And if Martial is fit, then I'm happy. We've got 3 cheaper forwards where I feel like it is very likely one of them will score, with all very nice fixtures coming up. So in the next few games, they could yeet me some nice goals. I'm sticking with a Salah-Sterling combo over any of the Mane or Aguero combos, as even though they might have had a bad week, it's definitely not worth a wildcard with another week. These two could be the only ones getting points from their team. I feel like Maddison and Martial on a good day can be a very good and different combo from others to get a nice decent haul of points, with both of them being very important in their teams. Trent and Digne already have a combined of 5 assists and 3 clean sheets in only 4 games, again with great fixtures. So personally, I do not think I need to wildcard yet, as my plan is moving Holebas to another defender next week where I have a lot of choice with the monies in the bank, then swapping Ryan the week later for Pope, whose fixtures completely swap in terms of difficulty. So enough about my attention-seeking self, let's look at a few different wildcard drafts you could do right now. So again, these teams might be impossible for you, depending if you do or don't have some of these players already and your team value. I've kind of gone for what I can afford, and my team value is under 101 million, which I think is about average right now. So if you like one, just try it out and see if you can do it, and if not, I like it. So I've split these drafts into different strategies. We've gone some for Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne, one with triple Man City attack, a couple with double Liverpool and Man City attack, and then finally my recommendation on what I would probably do if I were to do. So first we have a Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne draft with 3 great forwards, and it's this. So it's either a 3-4-3 or 4-3-3, depending if you want to play Cantwell or Lundstram. But we got the Pope in goals, not just good in church, he can make a good amount of saves too. All of these drafts actually got the bare minimum keeper between Pope, Heaton and Ryan. So if you want something more, you are a greedy bar steward, but you can just downgrade one of the other positions to compensate. Then we've gone for Trent, Digne and Zinchenko, as I feel Liverpool, Everton and Man City's defence is probably the best right now. Trent and Digne also have the attacking potential too, and maybe you don't like Zinchenko, but with a lot of people currently considering Otamendi, with Laporte being deck ched. Get well soon, Laporte. Lundstram features as he has by far the most attacking potential out of any budget defender, as he plays in midfield but is marked as a defender, meaning also possibility of clean sheets, so a very good choice. Or if Lundstram has difficult fixtures, you could play Cantwell, who has already got 2 assists and a goal so far, making a great partner for Pukki. Then the main part of this team, Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne. Still debate over Salah vs Mane and Sterling vs Aguero, but if you were to wildcard, I think De Bruyne should be the very first one in your team right now. I unfortunately don't have him because I'm an Humpty Dumpty and decided not to take a hit to get him, and oh wow, add 4 potions of salt, please. But Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne seem to be a great combo, as with De Bruyne's price, it still allows you to have a very strong squad around them, which finishes with Barnes, Pukki and Abraham. A lot of people are going weak up front, but with these cheap forward options arising, you know with their form, there's gonna be goals. I feel like this forward line, backed up with Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne, as well as great defence, even on a bad week, will still get a decent amount of points. And then on a great week, a crap ton. And then the next draft we have is only slightly different, and it's this, where we have dropped one of the forwards and brought in Mount, as well as upgrading one of the defenders. So again, going through the good keeper in Pope with his great fixtures, Trent, Digne, Zinchenko, and this time I've gone for Mings. Obviously you can change this, but he does seem great at his price, always being a contestant in the bonus point game. A lot of people are swaying away from 4 and especially 5 at the back, as the points just aren't there at all yet, but it does allow you to have better players elsewhere, as defenders are much cheaper. So in midfield again, the dream of Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne, but this time with Mason Mount. He has been getting all 90 minutes in Lampard's team. Mount definitely has something over him, but he has been great so far at his price, which is rising quickly, but he's a very good option. And then up front, this time we've gone for the Haller and Pukki combo, where I feel like Haller will be one of the better scoring cheap forwards, but he is still slightly more than the rest, so it might not be possible for some, but if it is, then it is what it is, and you should get him and the Pukki party man himself. The next wildcard draft I have for you is one that's been going around a lot lately as a very good option, and it's triple City attack, and it's this. So a little has to be taken away from the backline to do this. So the defence is now Trent, Digne and Sayonki, with the option of Lundstrom or Kelly playing too, which still covers some really good options, especially for the price. Sayonki can be someone else at 4.5 million, but he's a great option at that price. Then Sterling, De Bruyne, Lanzini and Mount, and Aguero and Firmino up top. So you realise, even with triple Man City attack, I've still managed to get some Liverpool cover with Firmino. If you were to have triple Man City and Salah or Mane, that would actually destroy the rest of your team, and not in the good way. Lanzini and Mount are still very good options, and are very likely to be involved in a goal if the Man City attack fails. I personally would say this would be a terrible idea, but I'm pretty sure so far this team would have got you a crap ton of points and put you very high on the leaderboards. Maybe even higher than Snoop Dogg. Would I consider this team? Maybe. But if the likes of Salah and Mane start performing really bad, this could actually be a very viable option, as Man City ain't going the speed limit anytime soon. They're just going to keep flying, and then if worst comes to worst, you could drop down Aguero or Sterling down to a lower option and spread your funds and your legs and have more cover, because if Man City blank, but maybe that team would be too risky. So now let's look at double Liverpool and Man City attack with this. So this has absolute bare bones in defence, with Ryan in goals, Sayonki, Mings, Lundstrom and Kelly in defence. This defence may get some clean sheets every now and again, but this is just mainly to afford the great attack of Salah, Mane, De Bruyne and Mount in midfield, and Aguero and Vardy up front. So we have the ever-growing combo of De Bruyne and Aguero, who would have scored you a lot of points last week, as well as Salah and Mane to never have to worry what one is playing better. We also have Mount and Vardy for some extra goals that aren't from Liverpool and City. This team is actually quite safe, as there haven't been that many clean sheets in the last few weeks, but there has been a lot of scorers, with all of these forwards getting a combined whopping 17 goals and 10 assists in 4 games, which I think kind of fully justifies this defence. Or maybe you won't be that confident moving forward with that defence, so now we have this. We've swapped Mane for Firmino, also bringing in Martial, who has scored 2 goals and 1 assist in 3 games, to allow a bit more funds at the back. So now we have Ryan in goals, Digne, Matip, Mings and Lundstrom. So again, the attacking threat of Digne and his clean sheets, making him a great option. Matip has played all of the last 3 games, getting a goal and a clean sheet, and Mings and Lundstrom still very good cheap option. Now this team is suddenly looking very viable, covering Man City, Liverpool attack with 2 big players, and also Man United and Chelsea, as well as great attacking and clean sheet potential from the defence. I feel like the maximum amount of points might be lower, but an average throughout the season could be very consistent, which is probably more important. This team also has some flexibility, as you could change Martial down to someone else to have more defensive cover. But finally, we're going to go through exactly what I would recommend on a wildcard, and the team I would wildcard to if I was going to do it right now. So in goals for me, it has to be a cheaper keeper right now, with Alisson out for Liverpool and Laporte out for Man City, so a cheaper keeper can get very similar points for a considerable less amount. My choice right now is Pope. Burnley's defence is improving, and he is a very good keeper, making a lot of saves. With their great fixtures coming up, I can see a few clean sheets arriving with Amazon Prime style, as they could be very soon. Then I feel you definitely still need to have a solid defence, but not overkill, so I've gone for Trent, Digne, Zinchenko and the rotation of Lundstrom and Kelly. Trent and Digne for their clean sheets and attacking potential, which has actually been very high already. Zinchenko is a great way into Man City until Mendy comes back, but even Emerson could be a good shout when Rudiger and Kante get back for Chelsea, as he is very attacking, so only a matter of time until he gets a return. Then Lundstrom is incredible value, and although Kelly did just get a knock, he's again the cheapest you can be. Ignore the price rises for now, okay? And they both will get decent points every now and again. Defense has been a very weird one this year. At the start, people saying go 4, or even some people having 5 at the back. But the last 3 weeks, there's been so little clean sheets. It looks like a shitey strategy, really. I think 3 nailed on, and 1 you could bring in every now and again is the best defensive layout you can have right now. Then the midfield. I personally still think, even after the recent few weeks, that you should have Salah and Sterling and now De Bruyne. I feel like these 3 will get returns almost every week, and as they have done already so far, get a couple of double-figure hauls, which is absolutely lovely stuff. And next to them, I've gone for Mount. He's Lampard's golden boy, getting every minute, even in different positions just to play him, with great attacking potential and the lower price to justify the choice. You could take out some of the defence to upgrade him to like Maddison or Lanzini, or even drop him down to McGinn or Ceballos if certain players are performing better, so good room for changes if needed. Then the attack. Aubameyang and Kane are great options, but right now the cheaper forwards are on par or even outperforming them. And of course the exception of Aguero, and you could swap Sterling out for him if you think he is a better choice. But if you do defo want Salah, it's hard to get 3 premiums without cucking your team. So for now, I've gone for 2 non-premium forwards in any 2 of Pukki, Abraham, Barnes and Haller. If you don't already have Pukki, you might not be able to afford Pukki and Haller, but I feel like that could be a great combination. Pukki has 6 goals, Abraham and Barnes have 4, and all in 4 games, and Haller has 3 goals in 3 games. Burnley are the team with the best fixtures in the next 4, closely followed by West Ham and Norwich. So right now, I think it's really hard to say what 2 are better, but I think the best combination would be Pukki and Haller, but whatever one you prefer. Because of their similar prices, you could just keep rotating them when some of them start picking up more form. So this team covers great form, great fixtures, and great balance to make a great team. Great. Again, you might not be able to have this team, or you could even have a better team, but if you are thinking of wildcarding, I think you should try and get some of these players, as they are probably the safest options right now. But there we have it. I hope this could help you. Let me know if you could wildcard now. Doesn't matter if you've already used it, or if you haven't used it. If you were to wildcard right now, let me know the exact team you would do. So thanks for watching, and remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now.